If you've been following the off-road SUV world, you already know one thing. The Hummer name never really disappeared from people's minds. When General Motors brought the brand back under GMC with the electric GMC Hummer EV, it showed that bold, aggressive SUVs still have a huge fan base. The Hummer EV proved that even in an era of electrification, there's still space for vehicles that look tough, oversized, and unapologetically different from normal SUVs. Now, here's where things start getting interesting. Across the automotive industry, there have been growing discussions about a smaller, more practical Hummer, something that could compete directly with vehicles like the Jeep Wrangler and the Ford Bronco. Many enthusiasts and analysts refer to this potential future model as the Hummer H4, and some believe it could arrive sometime around 2027, possibly with a hybrid powertrain. Before we go any further, let's be completely honest. GM has not officially confirmed the Hummer H4 yet, but based on market trends, GM's platform strategy, and the growing demand for mid-size adventure SUVs, a vehicle like this actually makes a lot of sense. Why a smaller Hummer could be a smart move. Right now, the off-road SUV market is stronger than it has been in years. Buyers are no longer just looking for luxury crossovers. Many people want SUVs that feel adventurous and capable. That's exactly why the Wrangler and Bronco are doing so well in the United States. However, the current Hummer EV has two big limitations. First, it's extremely large. Second, it's extremely expensive. That means a lot of potential buyers love the idea of a Hummer but simply can't justify owning one. This is where a smaller Hummer H4 could change everything. A mid-size Hummer would be easier to drive daily, fit in more garages and cities, cost significantly less, still deliver the tough image people want. From a business perspective, it would allow General Motors to expand the Hummer lineup instead of keeping it limited to just one ultra-expensive vehicle. Expected exterior design. Even though the H4 would likely be smaller than the Hummer EV, it still needs to look like a real Hummer. The brand's identity depends on aggressive styling and strong road presence. A realistic design could include boxy, upright body shape, wide track for stability, chunky off-road tires, short front and rear overhangs, large squared wheel arches. The front design would probably keep the modern Hummer lighting style, full with LED light bar, illuminated Hummer branding, and vertical signature headlights. This approach would make the H4 instantly recognizable while still giving it its own personality. Think of it as a baby Hummer EV with a more practical footprint. Another detail we could realistically expect is improved aerodynamics compared to older Hummers. Even off-road SUVs now need better efficiency, especially if hybrid systems are involved. Hybrid powertrain, the most logical option. A lot of people assume the H4 would be fully electric, but a hybrid system might actually be the smarter choice, at least initially. Off-road drivers often travel to remote areas where charging stations are limited. A hybrid setup solves that problem by combining electric efficiency with the reliability of a gasoline engine. A realistic hybrid configuration could include a turbocharged 4-cylinder, 1 or 2 electric motors, hybrid all-wheel drive system, estimated 350 to 450 horsepower. That amount of power would be more than enough for most off-road scenarios, while still delivering strong highway performance. Another benefit of a hybrid Hummer is fuel efficiency. Older Hummers had a reputation for extremely poor fuel economy. A hybrid H4 would allow the brand to modernize without losing its tough image. This would also align with the broader electrification strategy that General Motors is currently pushing across their lineup. Off-road capability expectations. If the H4 becomes a reality, it absolutely cannot compromise on off-road performance. Hummer vehicles are expected to handle rough terrain without hesitation. Realistic off-road features could include locking front and rear differentials, terrain management system, rock crawling mode, heavy-duty suspension, skid plates underneath the vehicle, advanced traction control systems, hill descent control. Another interesting possibility is technology carried over from the Hummer EV, such as underbody trail cameras, real-time terrain visualization, and digital off-road performance displays. These features are becoming increasingly common in modern off-road vehicles and could make the H4 more capable than older Hummers ever were. Interior and technology. One area where the H4 would definitely improve compared to older Hummers is the interior. In the past, Hummers focused mostly on toughness, but today's buyers expect technology and comfort as well. The interior could realistically include large digital gauge cluster, 13 to 15-inch infotainment display, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, advanced driver assistance systems, over-the-air software updates, premium sound system in higher trims. Material choices would likely mix durability with premium touches. For example, water-resistant materials for off-road use, optional leather seating, rubberized floor mats, aluminum or rugged trim pieces. Another feature that could make the H4 stand out is modular interior design. Some off-road SUVs now allow owners to easily customize cargo space, storage systems, and even roof configurations. Expected price range. Price will be a critical factor in determining whether the H4 succeeds or not. If it's too expensive, it could struggle against established competitors. A realistic price estimate could look something like this. Base model, around $45,000. Mid-level trim, $52,000 to $58,000. High-end off-road version, $65,000 or slightly higher. That positioning would place it directly against serious off-road trims of the Wrangler and Bronco, which is likely the exact segment GM would target. Potential challenges for the H4. Even though the idea of a Hummer H4 sounds promising, there are several real challenges that could affect its development. First is brand identity. Hummer has always been associated with large, extreme vehicles. Making a smaller version without losing that character would require careful design. Second is competition. Vehicles like the Wrangler and Bronco already have loyal communities and proven off-road performance. Third is the industry shift toward electrification. Automakers are still figuring out how quickly they should move from hybrids to full EVs, and this decision could influence the H4's final powertrain. Despite these challenges, the demand for rugged mid-size SUVs continues to grow, which increases the chances of this project becoming real. Final thoughts. A 2027 Hummer H4 hybrid could actually become one of the most interesting SUVs of the next few years if it happens. It would represent a different direction for the Hummer brand, one that focuses on accessibility, practicality, and modern technology, while still maintaining the bold identity that made Hummer famous. If General Motors manages to balance price, performance, off-road capability, and efficiency, the H4 could attract both longtime Hummer fans and new buyers who never considered the brand before. But for now, the most important thing to remember is this. The H4 remains a strong possibility, not a confirmed vehicle. Until we see an official announcement or concept reveal, everything should be viewed as a realistic expectation rather than guaranteed information. And here at Avengers Autos, sticking to reality is always more important than chasing hype.